Hey everyone, this is Jay White from Autoresponder Apprentice, and I want to welcome you to this short video presentation where we're talking about the email and autoresponder trends, how to maximize your copywriting efforts and income level for 2011. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you're already an email and autoresponder copywriter, then you're going to be very interested in what's happening right now and what's poised to happen in the upcoming year. If you haven't looked at this particular area of expertise, I strongly encourage you to do so, because there's some opportunities coming up that you can certainly cash in on pretty quickly and really add to your copywriting fees and your income level. So stick with me for the next 20 minutes or so as we go through this, and hopefully by the end of it you'll have a better understanding of what's happening in the email and autoresponder copywriting area, and you'll be better poised to take advantage of some of these things that are going on. So let's talk about what we're going to cover today. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover the current state of email marketing. That's what's going on right now. There's been some major developments in the last few months. We're going to talk about those. Why emails still reign as the most effective marketing tool. Yes, other things have come up, social media being probably the biggest competition, so to speak, of email, but emails are still the #1 way of communicating for marketers, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. 3 trends you should capitalize on to make the biggest impact in 2011. These are 3 things that you'll definitely need in your emails to make them better and to make more money for your clients, and in turn make more money for yourself. How you can quickly and easily position yourself to take full advantage of these types of opportunities, and much more. So let's jump right into it and take a look at the state of email in 2010. So how did we do? Well, to put it plainly, email is as strong as ever and continues to be the driving force in online marketing for a lot of clients, a lot of my clients, and probably a lot of yours as well. However, for several years, these pundits, you know who they are, they've been preaching the demise of emails in general. I'm thinking about, over the years, how people have always sort of poo-pooed the new big thing that has come down the pike. When automobiles were being created, there was a lot of people that preached against the advent of the automobile, because man wasn't, I think the quote was, man wasn't meant to go more than 15 miles an hour. It's just a ludicrous speed. Same way with, when the television was invented, people thought the television wouldn't last. The internet, you can still find quotes online about people who talk about the internet being a fad and never being, useful for anything except for really goofing off. And now it's, we all know what an impact it makes on daily lives. Same way with email. People have been preaching the demise of email, especially in the last few years with Facebook, with Twitter, these kind of things. They've said that these programs, social media, are going to make email obsolete. But that is just not the case, folks. You and I know this. Email right now is stronger than ever and continues to be the top dog when it comes to communication. And we're going to talk about why here in a minute. But, I want you to know that email is not going away, and it is still a driving force behind a lot of your clients and your potential clients' products and services and profits. Okay, look at this study. According to a study of Windows Live users by eMarketer.com, 7 out of 10 people would rather communicate by email rather than social networks. Are we a social network nation these days? Of course we are. But when it comes right down to it, we like to stay with things that are tried and true. Okay, social networks, Facebook, Twitter, these kind of things, there's still a little bit of the new and the glossy on there, but we know what works. Email works, and when we want to communicate with one another, through a digital world, an online world, we choose email more often than not. Okay, so it's not going away, stronger than ever, and contrary to rumors of its demise, it's not going anywhere. So why is it still king? Why is it still the top of the heap? Well, there's several reasons, but three of them I want to talk about today. The first of all, it's the ease of use. Okay, we all know what email does. We know what it is. We know how it works. All right, everyone I know has an email address, at least one, if not, 5, 6, 8, or 10. Aside from my parents, who are in their 70s and don't want anything to do with computers because there's a huge learning curve there. Everybody I know has an email, and all of these people I can get in touch with at a moment's notice if I need to. Okay. Along with the ease of use, there's the familiarity with it, and the fact that many of us don't have the time and patience to learn a new way. Now, I know there's all these, Facebook and Twitter aficionados out there saying, "Are you kidding me? This is so easy." But to someone who doesn't, have any clue about the social networking landscape, something like that can be a little daunting when they see it. How does this work? What do I do? I only have a limited number of characters. What? With email, it's pretty straightforward. You open it up, you type your message, you hit send, it's gone. Okay, so ease of use, a big reason why email is still king. Ease of access is another thing. With mobile technology, you can get emails practically anywhere, and you don't have to be chained to your desktop. Do you remember those days when when email was still kind of new and kind of, had that wow factor to it? We'd always be running back to our computers to see if anybody had emailed us, right? Do you remember these days? Yeah, some of you were like, what? But it did happen, because it was like, I can't believe I'm sending these things over, a phone line or whatever. Thing is, these days you can get your emails anywhere. I love being on the golf course and getting my emails for my business through my BlackBerry in my pocket. I don't have to stay at my desk to run my business. I can go out and do the things that I love, and still stay in touch with what's going on. So, with the mobile technology, you can get emails anywhere. You don't have to be stuck in one place, and this is a huge, huge factor to why email is still king. Lastly, there's the ease of entry. There's the ease of entry. Now, I'm going to talk about this from more of a marketer standpoint than from a copywriter standpoint. And I want you to take a look at this statistic here. Yesterday I saw an interview with Chris Brogan. He's the president of New Marketing Labs. He's a brilliant guy. He's very well versed in email marketing and online marketing issues. And he said that he's run a study and the findings have come down to this. 93% of email users have an opt-in relationship with a consumer brand. Okay, compared to 15% with Facebook and 4% with Twitter. Now, what is he saying? He's saying that 9 out of 10, actually more than 9 out of 10 email users have opted in to receive information about products and services from some sort of marketer, from some sort of brand. Okay, 9 out of 10, where as far as going through Facebook or Twitter, it's 15% and 4%. I mean, there's a huge gap there. So what does that mean to a marketer? That means that people trust getting messages through email and the type of messages that they want, okay, and will allow a marketer to send them those messages through an email format, where right now through Twitter and Facebook it's very minimal. All right, so if I'm looking at this from a marketing standpoint, I'm thinking, whoa, I want to focus most, if not all of my efforts into email right now rather than some of this social media stuff, because that's where people are being marketed to, and that's where they're allowing themselves to get these types of message, and they're comfortable with it. There's an ease of entry into this marketplace. So when you're thinking about marketing your email and autoresponder copywriting services to your clients, I want you to keep this in mind, okay, that they are more comfortable with the email types of messages than with Facebook and Twitter. Not to say that those are bad and you can't integrate them, and we're going to talk about that in a few moments here, But for right now, I would say the email is still king from a marketing standpoint, because most people still will allow themselves to have it, to opt in to have a relationship with a marketing company or some sort of brand. So what does this mean to you as a copywriter? Well, it's pretty simple. It's a huge opportunity for those who are trained to write autoresponders and emails in a powerful, persuasive manner. And I say trained because there are direct response principles that go into email copywriting. Some of the same principles that you learn when you're writing for sales letters and landing pages and things like this. However, it's, you have to take it to a different level when you're talking about emails and autoresponders. And there's certain things that you do when you're writing this shorter copy that you won't be doing in a longer form of copy. Okay, so it's very specific, and it's highly, I don't want to say technical, but it's very critical to have a few of these elements inside your emails and autoresponders that you might not have inside a sales letter. It's a different animal, so you have to work with it differently. So, in order to maximize your client's ROI, and your own, I guess I should say, you need to be aware of some current trends in email and autoresponder copywriting that are making a significant impact on the bottom line. So here's 3 things to consider when marketing your services in the upcoming year, okay? Pay close attention. As far as trends to capitalize in 2011, I pulled out 3 things that need to be an integral part of all your clients, or your own if you market your own products and services, of all your email marketing and your autoresponder marketing. Okay, first of all, we're talking about more relevancy. All right, your emails need to be more relevant to your prospects and customers' wants, needs, desires, and actions. We're going to talk about more about those 4 things in a minute, but they have to be relevant to where they're at, what they're doing, and they have to look at these messages in a way that says, I want this information and I need to consume this information, okay? Because honestly, the same sales pitch doesn't work anymore with today's sophisticated audience. All right, there was a day when you could blast an email out and pretty much make it a generic sales message and do pretty well with it. But those days aren't over anymore, because the more blasts we got of this type, the less apt we were to take action on these, sales pitches, and the more in tune we were to what was really going on. So today's email and autoresponder recipients have to, in order for an email to be opened and to be, to get clicked through, the messages must be carefully crafted to be relevant to the user. Okay, carefully crafted to be relevant to the user. You've got to provide them with something important to them, whether it's some sort of content that they need in order to make a better buying decision about your product, or some sort of interesting story that you want to pass along. Storytelling is key in good email and autoresponder copywriting. But in any rate, you need to make it relevant to the consumer. If it's not, you're going to get clicked away and you're going to get thrown in the trash bin. Also, targeting. Your emails need to be more targeted for the upcoming year, okay? Like I said, the day of the mass blast is over. You can't just point a shotgun in the general direction and fire and think that you're going to hit, your target dead center. Because if you know anything about firearms, a shotgun blasts a lot of pellets and a lot of, in a very spread pattern, and a few of them will hit the center, but many of them will hit, outside of the target and in other areas of the target, and not hit the direct place that you want to hit. You need to take more of a rifle approach, where you have one solid bullet that hits the middle of the target and hits it hard and does exactly what you want it to do. Okay, so today's smart marketer needs to address the specific wants, needs, desires, and problems that his or her prospect is experiencing, and provide a solution in the form of their product. Okay, so you don't just write an email that is basically an overview of your sales letter, and send it out there and hope that you're going to get, 5% response and say, well, that's pretty good. No, your clients need more than that. And that's where you can come in, okay? So you start writing emails that are more targeted to these people's wants, needs, desires, and problems, okay? Specifically, you want to pick out one thing that they're experiencing and position the product as being the answer to that particular problem. All right, and you do that in one email, and then in the next email in the autoresponder series, pick a different element of a problem that they're experiencing and position the product to be the answer to that problem. So the thinking is, if you set up a series of 7 or 10 emails, and each one of them hits on a different want, need, desire, or problem, then typically throughout that series, one of these things is really going to hit prospect A in the gut. You see what I mean? It's going to be like, wow, they're talking to me. Whereas some of the other things might not resonate with them. One of these things will certainly hit them right where they live. Prospect A, it might be email 2. With prospect B, it might be email 5. With prospect C, it might be email 3. You see what I mean? If you stretch these things out and you address a specific thing in each email, then there's more of a chance for you having that targeted type of message that really hits home and causes them to look at the product differently and perform whatever specific action the marketer wants inside of his email. So more relevancy, more targeting, and more relationships. This is really key when it comes to good email and autoresponder marketing. In my experience, a friendly email or autoresponder conversation that subtly leads into a soft sell outperforms the hard charging, buy it or die mentality. Okay? The subtle, friendly, and I call it water cooler talk inside my autoresponder apprentice course, because that's exactly what I want the feeling of my emails to be and the feeling of my students' emails to be. I want it to be the casual conversation that you have around the water cooler. These are the kinds of things that build relationships between marketer and prospect. Okay, it's the kind of thing that says, wait a minute, maybe he's not so much as a sales schlep as I think he is. All right, maybe he's a normal person like I am. Maybe they have the same kinds of issues that I do with family and work and life pressures and things like this. If you share these things, if you share a little bit about your life or your client's life in some of your emails, or you talk about things where there's common ground like cultural issues or timely issues, and you weave them into an email message where you address one of these wants, needs, desires, or problems, then you're talking about a message that doesn't really sell as much as it is. It just kind of brings it piques the interest of the reader and gives them that casual kind of water cooler talk type of mentality, and then subtly leads into a soft sell. All right, so these kind of emails build relationships with our prospects and customers instead of bludgeoning them over the head. You see what I mean? It's a whole different approach to marketing as opposed to what's been done in the past. And the casual personalized messages foster trust, not contempt, and they gently prod them towards a buying decision. In this day and age, I mean, your people, your clients, prospects, and customers, they're not going to buy from anybody they don't trust. Period. You don't buy from people you don't trust, right? I don't buy from people I don't trust. So you have to develop some sort of trust issue before you can move them to a buying decision. And with the method that I teach in Autoresponder Apprentice, I show you exactly how to do that with my step-by-step copywriting method. So, 3 trends to watch in 2011. More relationships, more relevancy, and more targeting. These are things that you're going to need to implement into your email and autoresponder copywriting to get the biggest bang for your client's buck and to get you more work from that client and from other clients. Okay, our goal here is to get you to where these people are just ecstatic about what you're doing for them, and they want to hire you over and over and over again and tell their friends about you, right? Isn't that what our goal is, to get as much work as possible? This is the way you can do it in this particular area of copywriting. So let's talk about, before we go, 3 quick tips to jumpstart your efforts. Okay. Sorry about that. Quick swig of coffee to get me through the last few minutes here. You want to target clients that are already doing some form of email or autoresponder marketing and improve their results. Okay, go looking for clients who are already doing something in this area. Why? Because you don't have to train them. You don't have to stand back and go, why should you market with email, and then convince them to market with email. And then why should you hire me as a copywriter, and then convince them of that. They're already doing email. They already understand the power of emails and autoresponders. Now all you have to do is look at what they're doing and saying, you know what, I'd like to help you improve on that. Okay, I don't think there's probably any business owner out there who, if you sat down and asked them, hey, how's your email marketing working for you, that wouldn't say, it could be better. Even if it's going like shooting through the roof, it can always be better for most business owners. Most of them would say, it's stinking. I don't know what to do about it. Well, that's where you come in. You're not only a copywriter here, you're also a marketing consultant. So you can provide a solution to that problem. And the people that are going to be more open to your solutions are the ones that are already doing some sort of email or autoresponder marketing. Okay. Secondly, look at local businesses and offer to take charge of their entire autoresponder marketing campaign. Okay. I did a webinar a while back on the the whole local business market and how much potential there was there for a good copywriter to come in and really do well. This is something I've never really looked at in the past, but over this past year, I started looking at it more and more and thinking, wow, I can't believe I completely missed this. If you're the type of person that loves to do stuff face to face and loves to go out and meet people and chat people up and talk about their businesses and whatnot, this may be the road you want to go down, because there are so many local businesses that are doing nothing in the form of email or autoresponder marketing. And if they are, it's on a very small level with just minimal training on how to set up an email and autoresponder marketing campaign. And with training with my autoresponder apprentice course, you could literally walk in and just basically say, look, let me handle the whole thing for you. And that's the kind of thing that a business owner wants to hear. They love when somebody comes in and says, let me take this off your hands. Okay, you go focus on running your business, let me focus on this for you. Those people will eat that kind of stuff up because they don't want to mess with it. They don't want to mess with stuff that they're not familiar with and that they're not well trained to make it happen in a big way. So when you come in and you say, look, I'm a marketing consultant, I know how this all works, I can write these messages, I can set up the system for you, I can do all these things, basically they're going to clap their hands together and say, please. So look at local businesses and offer to take the whole thing off of your client's hands, and more often than not they're going to love you for it. And when they start seeing the results of what your marketing efforts are doing, they're going to really love you for it. All right. And then when other people see people lined up outside these businesses, these restaurants or hair salons or auto shops or whatever, they're going to want to know what's going on. And when the word gets around, you're going to have more business than we know what to do with. So the local business community is huge in this as far as emails and autoresponders. Okay, finally, integrate social media. And I put gasp there because yes, I was talking how social media isn't going to beat email at this point, but You can integrate social media into the mix by offering timely posts and tweets that drive instant traffic. Okay, social media isn't the enemy here. It isn't the devil. All right, you can use it to your advantage with your email marketing. I know a lady, in fact, it's the lady that cuts everybody in my family's hair. She has a salon here in town, and she's a very aggressive marketer. She has a Facebook account with 300 or 400 friends on it. I live in a small town here in Missouri, so there's not tens of thousands of people, but she has 300 or 400 friends, and when things get a little slow, she'll throw a Facebook post out there that says, hey, pedicures half off today, or get a hair color for 30% off or $10 off or something like that. And I was just in there 2 weeks ago. I said, how's that working for you, sis? And she says, great. She says, every time I do it, I always get an influx of business for that day. So there are advantages to being in the social media front, okay, and being able to just pick up something and hit Twitter or hit Facebook with a special offer and get that instant traffic and that big boost that that comes with the immediacy of the social networks. All right, I was reading another story recently where somebody has in New York City, I believe they have some sort of one of those little hot dog stands or one of those little food stands or something, little food trucks that you see on the street corners and whatnot. And they have built a list of Twitter followers, and they will tell them every day where they're going to be. Today we're going to be at 151st and 43rd, and with this kind of a special or whatever. And I don't know if those are real streets in New York because I've never been there. But as you can see, when they tell people where they're going to be, then, and what kind of specials they're having, then everyone in that area who's on that Twitter list will, have a better chance of flocking to this truck for, their lunch or for a snack or whatever. It's a brilliant marketing concept. It can work very well with an email marketing campaign. Okay, and what you want to do in something like this, especially with local clients, is you want to say, okay, we got the emails covered, we got everything covered. Now, let's work some social media into the mix. Okay, now you're doing more work for them, and what happens when you do more work? You charge more money. Am I ringing any bells here, guys? Because once you start adding things to the mix that continue to help their business, you can continue adding to your fee structure. All right, and I mean, it doesn't cost much to set them up with Facebook. Well, it doesn't cost anything, or Twitter. Maybe a few minutes of your time, and then what do? You go out and you give them a call. What do you got going today? Oh, you got a special good, and bam, you throw out a tweet for one of your clients. They get a bunch of business for it, and you're making money. They're making money, and you spent exactly 2 minutes of your day in producing this little marketing thing. You see what I mean? You can do that so easily and make so much money at it that it's not even funny. So target clients that are always doing some form of email or autoresponder marketing. Look at the local businesses and offer to take charge of their autoresponder campaigns, and integrate social media into the mix when you want to drive instant traffic. You do one or all of these things and you're going to do very, very well this year. Now, go forth and prosper, please. And I want to thank you for your time today. Now, for more information on how to tap into this massive opportunity and make 2010, actually, that should be 2011. Hopefully, 2010 was your biggest year yet, and 2011 is even going to be bigger. Yeah, I'm a writer, not a mathematician, okay? Forgive me. You want to head to this address right here. That should be clickable in your presentation. If not, copy paste that into your web browser and check that out today, because I've got a program for you that's going to help kickstart your progress in this area and help you take advantage of some of the things we've talked about today. Okay, so I hope to see you inside soon. Again, my name is Jay White with Autoresponder Apprentice. I hope you've had a great 2010, and I hope 2011 is your best year yet. Okay, thanks so much for joining me today, and we will talk again soon. Bye-bye.